Okay, as you wish. Yeah, so I have played a few games for the Spectrum in this month. Games that are from the Yandex competition 2025 competition for Spectrum games, and
What's that? The Yandex competition? Or?
Yandex, it's a competition to develop game for the Spectrum, and
Okay, like a
I
game jam.
yeah, like a game jam. Yes, it has been going on for a few years, I think, but not sure if it happens every single year.
Hmm.
And this one hasn't finished yet, but not sure if we'll go on air with this episode after the results. I
Hmm.
think the results should come probably at the end of August. So I don't know which game is gonna win, but well, the game that I'm bringing is the game that I wish it wins because it's the one I like most. But I'm also talking about a runner-up that I thought it was not going to be very interesting at first, but it actually was quite addictive. So I have a secondary pick as well. That surprised me.
Okay.
Anyway, let's talk about the game that I support for this Yandex competition, and I think it's kind of a no-brainer because I've already read around many people talking about this game, so it wouldn't be surprising if it wins.
Hmm.
And the game is called Cubix
Yeah,
by
that's. I even
Godin.
heard Retro Asylum talk about that as well. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yes. So and maybe the reason why this game is being talked about it's because of this graphic mode, which is said to be based on a new 3D engine
Wow.
with perspective. Which well, it's claimed that they wrote this from scratch, and I guess this is maybe the first game or non-demo game that uses that. I'm not sure, but it really looks awesome on Spectrum. Something that I don't think it was done back in the day at all.
Hmm.
It's very fluid, and the whole game plays out in a space that it's well, it's supposed to be a tower essentially,
Okay.
not a circular tower, but with
Flat.
square uh, area, if you can
Okay.
say that. So it has four sides, and you can move around. And uh, if you move, let's say, more or less in the middle of the screen, nothing changes. It stays 2D, but when you go near the border, it starts turning. So you start seeing the next side, the other side, and then you move along, and the whole tower turns.
It looks
It's
crazy for a ZX Spectrum. It
yes,
reminds me of the
exactly.
game Fez. I don't know if you know that. It's a very famous
Yes,
indie
and
game.
the authors said that this was an inspiration for
Ah, okay.
making
Well, you can
Cubix.
clearly see that.
Yes, it was definitely inspiration because also Fez is for Nintendo Switch, right? Or at least for
For
Nintendo
modern
Switch.
platforms.
Many platform. Okay. Anyway, modern platforms that don't really have issues making something like that, but
Hmm.
it it looks really special on the Spectrum. You can see the graphics are very Spectrum-like, and they are essentially monochrome. The levels, each level has a different color, but then
Hmm.
it probably needs to be reduced to a minimum.
I actually
And
like that monochrome. It's better than yeah, probably when you introduce colors as well. It would be very crazy color
yeah,
clashing with this mode, this effect.
yeah, and well, of course, colorful games are more beautiful to watch, but I also like monochrome games. There were many on Spectrum back then. That they have a charm of their own. I don't know.
Yeah, you also played Gato Roboto, right? The modern game. It's
Did
like a
I play
modern
that?
Metroidvania. Oh, I thought you
And
played it.
Andy played it.
Maybe it was Andy.
Yes.
That's also I think it's only black and white, and I really love that game. It's like a modern game, so yeah, it can very work very well. Or Minute,
Mm.
another game I really love. it's like black and white. So yeah, I have no problems with monochrome games.
No, and as I say, they have their own atmosphere.
Mm.
And well, anyway, let's talk briefly about the game. And this is available from the Yandex page directly.
Mm.
Might be available later on each, but I think at the time I didn't find it, even though I found lots of games with the same name. So it probably hasn't shown up there, and it might be after the competition ends. And if you download the one from the competition, on the starting screen it says Party Edition, so it
Okay.
might be slightly different than it would end up later, and I'm not sure. All right. Also to note that this requires a Spectrum 128K, so it won't run on the 48K very basic Spectrum.
Well, that was expected, I guess.
Yeah, but I also think that even if it was 2D, it has very nice music, high quality music, and many tunes. And that is usually one reason why some games required 128K on the Spectrum back in the days. So you usually got many games released in two versions, 48K and 128K version.
And the one was without music or something.
And the first was without music, or you get maybe some buzzer tune and nothing special. And then also the bigger version of the game often had some additional levels just to give more reasons to get that 128K Spectrum. But the music was really it very often needed more RAM. So even if it wasn't 3D, it could have ended up needing this configuration anyway.
But this game looks great, but is it any good or any interesting apart from the graphics?
Short answer, yes. It's definitely a good game. So, all right, let's spend a couple of words on the introducing what the game is about. Well, there's a backstory, of course. It's a weird story about a distant planet where everything was perfect and perfectly cubic, apparently, and then some evil villain from another planet in the shape of a hexagon decided to mess this up and stole some sacred artifact, which is a dice, and split the dice into its 6 faces and hid each face of the dice in a different tower. Now, every inhabitant of your planet is gone mad, they become evil, and it's just you are the last of the sane inhabitants, someone called Bix, and you manage to escape this curse somehow, and now of course you have to find the 6 faces of the holy dice and bring them back together.
That's a fun story.
So
especially for a jam game, it sounds like there's some thought behind it.
Yeah. So then the game is organized in 6 levels in the form of towers, and the purpose is in general to collect all the diamonds around the towers, around each tower, and then reach the summit, the top of the tower, and get one of the faces of the die that you are trying to rebuild. And in the last level, I think you bring them all together to some pedestal at the end, and that's the ending of the game.
So is it like a platformer, or is it more like a puzzle game?
It's a platformer. Andy would probably call it puzzle platformer. Okay. I think it's essentially a platformer. Some thinking is definitely needed in many places, and but I wouldn't call it a puzzle, really. It's a game that requires a lot of patience. It took me more time than I thought to beat the first tower, and I still haven't beat the second one. So fortunately, I didn't make it in time to go very far in the game. But mostly I think it's because I had to backtrack many times. And well, this will be a little bit more clear when I explain more of the mechanics. Because at the very beginning, the mechanics are really, really basic. All you can do, it looks like all you can do is just jump on platforms, and you have these enemies which are characters more or less like you, except that they look a little bit angry. You can, well, you have some energy, some life energy. If you get hit, I think 5 times, then you lose.
Okay.
And they just eat up your energy by touch. Although you can jump on some of these enemies and then they become idle for a few seconds. You can go through them safely if you need to go to the other side. Well, not all you can jump upon. There are some that you can see that have like spikes on top, and if you jump on them, they take your life as well.
Okay.
So at the beginning, it looks almost too trivial. Everything is monochrome yellow. But then at some point, you start noticing there's some floating icons. Not too often, but in the levels, there's maybe every level 2, 3 floating icons, something like that. Each one is either an instruction on what to do or it unlocks some ability.
So it's like a gated exploration game.
Yeah, it is. It is. In fact, I think in the presentation they say that this is a little Metroidvania element in it. So, yes, sometimes there are places in a tower you can't go before you unlock that ability. And the first ability, the first ability you unlock, it's basically the ability of picking up certain blocks that you can pick them up and carry them to some other place and drop them down. So usually you can use it, for example, to create a sort of stairs to a place that otherwise you wouldn't reach higher up, the next level of the tower. In the tower, you can see lots of floors that you can go through. You can also jump down those floors if you want. But maybe you can't reach them immediately, so first you need to figure out how to get this ability, and then you move blocks to create stairs to go to a higher place. And this is anyway the thing that took me a long time, because there aren't that many blocks in the first tower.
You can pick up.
So there aren't that many pickable blocks. So I often found myself in a place and thought, what am I supposed to do now? Maybe I had to go around quite a bit, get a block from here, a block from there, put them all in the same place, and then I would go to the next level or something like that.
Interesting. Sounds a bit like Animal. Well, the I think released last year was also like a platformer with puzzles, like a gated exploration platformer with puzzles. And it also looks a bit like it. So yeah, it's exactly a game I would love. So I kind of want to play this now.
Yeah, I think you would definitely like it, because just the idea that you just want to see what the next ability is. There aren't probably that many. It's I think it mentions that there are more than 10 game mechanics to discover.
That's not nothing.
Yeah, and with 6 towers, so you can expect 2 or 3 per tower. And of course, one of these is actually the 3D mechanic. So
okay.
Yeah, it's not since the start, but now of course I already knew about this game before I tried it. I knew that it was becoming popular because of the 3D engine. But if you didn't know, I can imagine it must have been a moment of wonder when you pick up that ability.
It would be
because
great if they could keep it a surprise, but of
yeah,
course you have to sell it somehow,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
it looks just like a monochrome platformer if you're not selling it with the 3D effect.
Exactly. But I'm planning to give my kids that surprise one of these
Yeah,
evenings
that's
because
great.
they don't know about the game yet. So I want to see how they react when they get that ability. Because the first level, yeah, you start and it's just 2D,
Hmm.
and it looks like, well, okay, this is a homebrew game, nothing
Hmm.
special. It's cute. It looks cute, and actually, when you load it, it's immediately charming because it has very nice music from the loading screen immediately, and then you get a few still screen with a picture and text to explain the background story, and that's also nice. But then the game, first sight, it's really bare.
Hmm.
But when you get that ability, and then it tells you try to see what's like left or right,
Hmm.
and you move towards the border of the screen. Before you get there, just a little bit before you get there, you start seeing the whole tower turn around. You can like peek into the other side, which is in another dimension.
Hmm.
And then if there's actually an opening to the other side, then you can just walk through and the whole tower turns around 90
Yeah,
degrees and then you are on the other level. So it's very nicely done. And
it
I
looks
can
so cool.
imagine
Yeah.
like the moment of wonder. It's like opening a curtain and finding something that you didn't know was
Yeah,
behind the curtain, another world or something like that.
maybe there's more in there you haven't seen
Yeah,
in
yeah,
later levels. That would be great.
yes.
Maybe turn it like upside down or something, like from the top to the bottom. I don't know. That would
I
be.
don't know either. I've been to the second level. I know a couple more mechanics, but maybe I'm not sure if I should tell them.
Oh, I
But
think you can keep them a surprise.
yes,
It's.
maybe
How long
that's the
did you
best.
take it for? Like one level? How long did you take to beat one level?
I actually had to retry a few times, but maybe a couple of hours or
Oh, really? Wow.
an hour and something. I didn't keep track, but yeah, it was longer than I thought.
So, and all those 6 towers are already in the game, or is that because you said it's not finished yet? This game?
I think it's finished. I think it's finished.
Oh, really?
I
Wow.
just noticed that the version that I found from Yandex competition
Mm-hmm.
website says Party Edition, and
Okay.
I wonder if it was specifically made for the competition, and later on there will be some change. I don't know, but as far
Hmm.
as I know, the game is already complete.
Wow. So it's
And someone has
quite
finished it
long as
already.
well.
Someone has finished it already
Of course.
because, well, I admit I also searched to see
What's
the
next?
ending. No,
Mm.
yeah, I saw the ending, and I think it probably takes a couple of hours to play. That, well, if you wanna take a look, it's not like I recommend it, but if you wanna take a look, I think there's some full walkthrough on YouTube already, and it took about 2 hours to
Yeah, but
complete
it's
the
of course
game.
if you don't die at all. Because what happens when you die? You start over the level, or do you start
Start
over?
over, but you also get checkpoints.
Okay.
I think they look like floating hearts. If you grab one of those, you can choose to restart from the latest checkpoint.
Hmm. Okay, that at least is fair.
Yeah,
It's
and
well, it sounds like a blast. This game.
so if I remember right, on that walkthrough, it took about 2 hours for that person to finish the game, but clearly he knew exactly what he had to do
Hmm.
because I think it just doesn't waste time anywhere. So maybe about 20 minutes per tower, something like that.
Hmm. Well,
It's
that's
not
that's
small.
it's not
Not small.
small, and it's free. So and impressive. So I guess why not play it? I have to check this out.
Yeah, I really
I just
recommend
thought
it.
it was like a very graphical, uh, nice game, but it was not a lot of substance, but if I hear you talk about it, it seems like it's an actual cool game as well. So yeah.
Yes, it is,
Cool.
and it's very well done. Like at all levels, it's not just that 3D solution. I really like the sprites, the style of the sprites. It's very nice character. The music is amazing, and you get lots of tunes. I think that you get a different tune per tower, but also there's an intro tune, and maybe I think it was different. Also, the music in the introduction was another one.
Wow, that's that's a lot of effort. How long did they take to make this?
I don't know.
It's wow.
I don't
Anyway,
know. It might have been under preparation long before the competition.
yeah, maybe they have that engine and they only had to make gameplay or something, but still, yeah, impressive stuff. I'm going to check this out if I can. I really want to play this on my Mio Mini, but I shouldn't. I guess I should play this with my arcade stick or something. Great
All
stuff.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully they will release it on itch as well, because this site seems a little bit rough, the Yandex site, but it's fine. It's fine.